Hi everyone, thanks a lot for tuning in and visiting our YouTube channel. My name's Callum Beaumont, I'm the founder of Cordell Beaumont. Today is a bit of a different video, just really wanted to say a very quick kind of thank you and appreciation to a number of people that have kind of bought my ebook and book that I wrote back in 2020 called The Essential Guide to Becoming a Shipbroker. It's now the third year anniversary from writing the book. And I honestly couldn't be any more surprised and pleased with how successful it's been. I regularly get aspiring brokers kind of just message me out of the blue or come and say hello when I'm in town, just saying that it in some small way helped them. So I thought I'd give you a quick video just to explain kind of why I wrote that book and who it was aimed at, what kind of a few kind of pieces of information about what's enclosed, and just to say a huge thank you, really. So first of all, back in 2020, I started writing the book around, I think it was January 2020, when the COVID kind of pandemic started. I had left my previous role. I used to be the recruitment manager for a very large shipbroking company called Clarkson's. And during my time there, I was looking after the trainee broker program. So I'd be kind of very involved with the selection of candidates that applied for the program. I'd be holding multiple interviews throughout the year and pretty much on a weekly basis. So I was pretty much one of the first point of contacts for people applying to the trainee broker program and then getting interviewed and ultimately hired. So I left Clarkson's in 2019 and I started up my own recruitment agency, focused predominantly on the commercial and the digital shipping side. And COVID hit and I thought, right, okay, just in case things sort of start to slow down a little bit on the recruitment side, I wanted to try and share some of the knowledge I'd learnt during my time previously as a shipbroker for my family broking business, and also obviously during my time at Clarkson's and SSY previously, and other broking shops I've known and got to know over the years. So the book really is for anybody that's kind of either thinking about becoming a shipbroker, perhaps has heard about it and they're not too sure how they get a job opportunity within that space. It's also for people that are very clued up and they're applying to different kind of broker schemes. And it just tries to give you a few insider tips of how to give you the best shot, essentially, of getting in front of the right people, making a big impact when you meet them, and ultimately, obviously, being hired as a broker. So, yeah, essentially, it's aimed at anybody, really, anybody that's open to or interested in the position of a shipbroker. It's not a huge book, I won't lie to you, and I'm certainly no kind of distinguished author or anything, and there's probably plenty of typos, so I do apologize. It's not the most kind of 100% accurate reading, and if you look through it, there may be some grammatical errors, so it's by no means perfect, but I think it's hopefully add a little bit of value to quite a few people. So yeah, when you do look at the book, I mean, you'll see that it's broken up into sections. Some of them are about doing your homework and research into what does a broker actually do. And I would certainly make sure that would be your first kind of starting point. Because a lot of people, when we used to interview them at Clarkson's and at previous companies, and even in my own business now, they get fascinated by the world of shipbroking. They've heard it's really exciting, make lots of money, meet lots of people. But actually, when you break it down and ask people why do they want to be a broker, what is it that appeals to them, sometimes it can be quite hard for people to articulate that. And they may not realize actually there's different sort of career paths within shipbroking. So you could be obviously a shipbroker, you could be a chartering shipbroker, you could be a sale and purchase broker. You could work on the market analysis desk within a broking house. Equally as important role, incredibly kind of powerful position that really kind of lends a lot of expertise and is highly valuable to the brokers and to the clients. Or you could be in a vessel operations role. So working closely with the brokers, working even more closely perhaps with the actual ship management companies or the charterers when you fix the ship. Again, still under the umbrella of shipbroking because you might be working for a broking house, but actually you're not the person that's kind of going out, wining and dining, networking, trying to sort of match up kind of either charterers to ship owners or buyers to sellers of vessels, that type of thing. So it takes a certain personality, I think, to be a broker. And I guess from my experience as being one, I wouldn't say I was necessarily the best broker. And that's kind of why I left it at the time back in 2012. And what I've learned about brokers is that there's a completely different mixture of personalities. There's no right or wrong answer about, oh, that person could be a great broker or that person won't be so good because of this or that. So I've learned after literally interviewing thousands and meeting thousands of aspiring brokers over the years that it's not an exact science. So first part is to do your research. Make sure you understand what you're really interested in, why you want to be a broker. And the second part is I would say give yourself the best shot of getting in front of the right people. Don't rely on things like large graduate training programs, websites to apply on. I would 100%, if I was trying to be a broker now, I would be getting out there, finding out who the brokers are within the different companies, try and find perhaps some people that are a bit more maybe at the graduate level or trainee level, fairly new. They might have a bit more time or a bit more kind of open to come and say hello, sort of take you for coffee or you take them for coffee, I mean. And you can then ask them a little bit more about how they got into broking, any recommendations. I would be doing that. I'd be focusing on getting my name out there, finding out where people hang out, where's the best sort of bars to go to or just general kind of points that you might be able to bump into other brokers. And ultimately, the goal is just to get people to like you. If you can get some recommendations from experienced brokers or anyone within the shipping space that really kind of recommends you, you're already halfway there. You've got such a great opportunity and advantage over all the thousands of other or hundreds of other applicants. If you can get one or two recommendations from internal brokers or senior managers within companies. So 100%. The first two I would recommend is research on why you want to be a broker. Second one is get your network, get your name known to try and fast track your application process and be put in touch with the right people, essentially. And the third sort of tip and recommendation I could make is probably just if you want to be a broker, I'd say one of the biggest things I found that perhaps candidates were lacking, they may have a fantastic kind of pedigree, like great, kind of come from a fantastic shipping family or something, or perhaps they've been studying years and years and years. They've got a great degree or master's in a maritime related subject. And all this is incredibly valuable and helpful, but it doesn't necessarily set you apart as having perhaps the traits or maybe the raw ingredients to be a broker. And I would say one of the key things that I've seen time and time again when you interview brokers and you meet them is generally they just love doing a deal. I find like they have that passion for connecting people together. It doesn't matter what commodity it is, doesn't matter what type of basically what you're selling. You're either selling, it could be vessels, it could be anything, stocks and shares. You just love that buzz of doing a deal. And that's what I do. I love that in recruitment as well, helping people find jobs and stuff. And there's the financial aspects, of course, which is a great motivator, and it often ties in nicely with doing a deal. So you want to also figure out what motivates you. Like, are you motivated by the thought of becoming the biggest broker in the world? Does that motivate you? Like, because you physically can. There are brokers out there that everybody that's in the industry will know of. In certain markets, that person is the biggest broker or the most well-known broker in that space, and you could aspire to be that person if you wanted to. It's quite a insular market. People get to know everybody. Or do you think, well, maybe that doesn't appeal to me. I'd much rather be in a role where I'm in a safe company. I've got lots of people around me. I want to have a long career here. I want my regular paycheck. I don't really want to go out every single night or 4 or 5 times a week, wining and dining people perhaps, and having very high levels of stress. And if that's the case, then maybe the life of a broker isn't for you. So you need to try and understand what motivates you. And I regularly see the people that are in the broking positions, doesn't matter what their personality is like, they still just love the hunt and the chase of doing a deal. Because broking, you're going to get turned down and rejections regularly, very regularly. And it's a very competitive market, so you need to have real thick skin. And I did a couple of sale purchase deals when I was younger, mainly off the back of my grandfather's clients and my mum's clients in our business. And I didn't have the passion for it back then. And it showed. And I felt like that was part of the reasons why I stepped away, because I didn't love broking at that time. So I think the successful brokers absolutely love it. They love doing the deal. I wouldn't say they love shipping. Some people don't really gel with shipping. They think, yes, it's a great, exciting market, but their passion is maybe the high end nature of the business, the doing big volume of deals, big value deals. So that's my third point, is to really find out what motivates you. At the moment now in our business here, we actually specialize in the digital side of shipping. So we've actually stepped pretty much away from recruiting in the shipbroking space. We still do some broking roles that are more related to vessel operations and analysis. But you need to be thinking, if you're an aspiring broker now, your role is coming up pretty much against a lot of digital solutions nowadays. I'm sure you've heard about it in your studies or in other paths or communications you've come in contact with, that maybe the role of a broker could be receding a little bit. I definitely don't think so. I think there's always going to be a need to have that intermediary, that insight and that kind of expertise that can really add a huge value, especially if you're dealing with high value assets or obviously very large fixtures, volumes, that type of thing. So I do think the role of the broker is going to reduce in the sense that I don't know if there's going to be as many brokers out there going forward. But if I was starting again now in broking, I would 100% be interested, passionate, and studying all the technologies that can help you as a broker. So I would be learning things like Python, Tableau, other kind of data analysis tools or kind of solutions that you can kind of just add to your armory, really, and make you stand out amongst other aspiring brokers. Don't get me wrong, there's still going to be those kind of wheeler dealer broker characters that just everyone just gravitates to and are very fantastic at doing deals. They'll still be really successful. But I think you can add huge value if you have a passion for technology, or at least you embrace technology, and you factor that into your application as a broker, or just in general in life, in your career in shipping. And I think you'll be a huge asset, either in the broking space, or maybe if you want to later on go and join a ship owner or a charterer. If you've got that technology background and that kind of just natural flair for tech, as well as your successes as a broker, you've got a great career ahead of you. So thank you very much for listening. Just a short video, as I said. I'm not really at the point to be able to steer people in directions to say, right, here, apply to this job, apply to that job. This was more just really a thank you for supporting and purchasing the book. I had great feedback for it. It's got some really good reviews. So it's still available on Amazon, either in paperback or Kindle version. So please do support and share any reviews you have. And if anyone thinks that maybe I should do a follow-up at some point, or perhaps do an updated version, let me know in the comments, and I'll have a serious think about it, because I probably is due one shortly. And maybe that one will have a bit more of a digital focus to it as well. So please do like and subscribe to the channel, and like the video. Hit the notification bell, and you'll then hear about any upcoming videos. But thanks for listening, and I wish you best of luck in your search.